Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Jessica and I use she, her pronouns. And this class today is really just going to be about that space between the shoulder blades, the thoracic spine, the upper back. If you are feeling any pain or strain in that area, we are really just going to be focused on mobilizing that area and kind of stretching it out a little bit for this class. And we're going to start with 2 blocks, and we're going to use 2 blocks for this class. So we'll start in a heart bench. I've got my block set up here. As you can see, I have a block set on the tall setting for my head. The back of my head is going to rest there. And then the second block I have on the wide setting, and that's going to be situated around my shoulder blades, maybe slightly underneath the shoulder blades. And that'll be a little bit different for everybody. So get an approximate setup like this, and then you can lay back down on it and see if you need to make any adjustments, and you probably will, and that's fine. Just be patient. Kind of position yourself and slowly start to lower yourself, and you might feel right away that you need to make some adjustments. There we go. Very good. So slowly make your way down. Take the time to adjust yourself or to readjust yourself. And when you're in the right spot, you should feel an opening in the shoulders, in the upper back, and you should feel the chest. You might even feel the muscles on the side of the chest and the shoulders kind of stretch out as gravity pulls your arms down away from you. And that's what we're looking for. So if you have any sensation in the low back, you can keep the knees bent and the feet on the ground. Otherwise, extend the legs long and let the feet fall away from each other. Just really find complete comfort and softness here. Within means, I'm sure you're sore. I'm sure you're feeling a little tender if you're joining me here. So just notice if there are any places that you're kind of bracing, and see if we can breathe into those areas and kind of get them to chill out a little bit, to relax just a little bit, and to open up. We'll take another minute or so here. Start to focus on that breath and take your last moment here just to kind of unpack and notice if there's anything intruding your space right now in your mind, taking you away from this practice, and just make the conscious decision to put it on hold, to press pause. Always come back to it. You are exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment. And reclaim your time. Be here with me. Connect to your breath. Release the tension in your body. Feel those elbows and shoulders getting heavier. Soften the throat and let your head be heavy on your block. And start to establish a circular rhythm with the breath, a circular cycle. Expanding the body, softening the body on the inhale, rounding through the belly and the chest. And gently releasing that breath, feeling the middle of the body kind of collapse down towards the ground, surrendering. Just like that. Notice that sensation of lightness, of airiness as you focus on that breath and you let it move through you. That full round breath, so different from the breath that we're usually taking involuntarily when we're not thinking about the breath. It's usually shallow. Take 3 breaths together. Big Big inhales and heavy sighs or light sighs. Just exhale. Make any noise you want. Yes, 2 more just like that. Very good, very good. Let's start to position our arms underneath ourselves, and we're going to lift up here. So press into the elbows, the forearms, the palms. Lift yourself up. And with the legs extended in front, let's keep the hands placed on the ground behind us so that the fingertips are pointing towards the body and the wrists are pressed into the ground behind us. Arms are strong, so notice if you're like dumping the weight back, press those arms straight, make them strong. And we're just gonna start to like tip the body forward. So think of cow pose while seated. And then exhale, round through the spine, maybe bend the elbows slightly. So we're doing a cat-cow motion here, but we're seated with our arms behind us. So moving a little bit slower, a little more deliberately here. Pull those shoulders forward, let the back fall backwards. Inhale, press the chest forward, arch the spine forward. Exhale, arch it back. Shoulders forward. One more, that feels really nice. Last one here. Feeling some good blood flow in the shoulder area, in the mid back. Sit yourself all the way up, and then we're gonna meet in tabletop position and bring your blocks with you. You're gonna find a variation of child's pose here, and there are a couple options here. I'm gonna practice with blocks, depending on what's going on in your shoulders and what feels good in your body. You may choose to use no blocks, you just come to the ground, or you might choose to come to like a chair or something even higher off the ground. Yogi's choice, there's no wrong way to do this. Find yourself on hands and knees, and I'm gonna demonstrate this first with my blocks in front of me on the medium setting. Now, if you have squishy blocks like I do, it's a little more tricky, so be careful. Come down with the forearms and the elbows kind of aligned on the blocks here. And you might want to walk your knees back a little bit further. We're going to bend the elbows and drop the head down. It might feel good to bring the hands together or to interlace the fingers. And the hands can come straight up, whether they're touching or not. And if you want to up the intensity, maybe reach the hands all the way back to the shoulders. And let the head fall. And if you're using props, really dig the elbows down into your props so that you feel nice and secure. And breathe. Sometimes we have a tendency to hold our breath when we're folded, when we're stretching. And let that breath move through you. And notice how that breath navigates as we contort or change or stretch our body into different shapes. A few more breaths like this, and if you need to adjust yourself, if you want to take a different option with your props, I invite you to do that here. I think I might try adjusting mine a little bit higher. And sink down. And know that you're supported here. One more breath here. And then slowly start to peel your way up out of this. Be careful. And come off of your props if you're using them. We're going to set these off to the side. And we're just going to breathe through cat-cow here, just to get movement through the entire spine. So knees are a little bit together, hip width distance apart, hands are planted firmly, shoulder width distance apart. We'll start with an inhale for cow pose. Keep the arms strong, bring the chest through the shoulders. And exhale, press the ground away. Press that space between the shoulder blades up towards the sky. Lift up. Inhale for cow. And find this at your own pace, moving as slowly as you'd like. Really emphasize pressing the shoulders up to the sky, pressing through the palms and the forearms. The entire arms, really, even the fingertips. A few more rounds of this. Come to center here, and we are going to make our way onto our stomach from here. So lower yourself all the way down to the mat, nice and gently. Bring the arms to the sides for just a moment and just rest on one side of the face. Allow the shoulders to really sink into the ground here. And then we'll lift the face up and switch directions, resting on the other side of the face. And then let's start to bring ourselves to center here. So lift the head up and let's extend the left arm out and down slightly. So maybe not completely out to a T, but we want to bring the palm down towards the ground and extend that arm out so it's nice and long. And the right palm can come down to the ground with the elbow bent. We're going to take this right leg and lift it up, bend the knee, and we're going to step the right leg behind the left for the ground. And use this kickstanding right arm to kind of pull you a little bit deeper into the stretch. So if this feels good on one side, but you want to kind of turn it up a little bit, take this right arm and reach back behind you for the left. So you can hang out here, or you can bring a block underneath your head. Which I'm gonna do. There we go. And reach back. So if you have your hands interlacing behind you, kind of pull the hands away from the body and think of pulling the shoulders back and down, nice and gently. We don't want to get crazy. We just want to find a nice little stretch here. And this right foot can kind of help get you a little bit deeper into the stretch if you kind of roll out to the side of that foot. So use that to your advantage as well. And just sink in here for a moment. Again, we're just looking to mobilize and to stretch. You're not looking for crazy intensity. So just find that middle ground in your body. And send a few breaths to the place that's feeling this the most. And again, think of releasing those shoulders back and down and pulling that chest forward ever so slightly. By doing that, you'll notice the sensation maybe come out of the shoulders and more into the back. One more breath, and then we'll switch directions. And slowly start to come back to center, making your way back onto your stomach, and we'll find this on the other side. So we'll start by extending the right arm out this time. Left hand kickstands here, left leg lifts, and the toes come to the ground behind the right arm. Maybe that left arm comes and meets the right arm behind. And find your head rest here if you need it. And pull the shoulders back nice and gently. And use the ground as support. Use that back foot as support. And as you start to get used to the sensation, notice if your shoulders relax and pull them back a little bit more. Adjust them so that we're targeting the right area. Couple more breaths here. Do you feel that? I feel that. One more breath. And start to release. Nice and gently come to center here. Pressing onto the palms, coming back onto the knees. And just pressing back for a child's pose here. So knees can come nice and wide and press back so that the heels, the hips come towards the heels. And maybe bring the forehead down to the ground. And instead of reaching the arms forward, kind of let them be slack. Maybe you even stack the forearms and rest your head there. You really just want to relax the neck and the head here. And notice the warming sensation that maybe you feel in that upper back. That's the blood flow. That is a very good sign. That's the body sending energy and nutrition to that area to kind of restore it. So a few more breaths here. Let your body go. Very good. Let's start to pull ourselves up here. Coming back to hands and knees, and we're going to come onto our back from here. And slowly make your way. Very good. So on our back here, let's just take a moment to feel that space that we worked here. Kind of think of pressing the upper back down into the ground here. Maybe bring the arms in front of each other and kind of let the shoulders dig into the ground a little bit. Just find some awareness in that space. Release the hands here. We have a few more stretches coming up here. So from the back with the knees bent like mine here, you're gonna bring the left knee up, and with the right hand, let's get a nice handle on that left knee. So from here, extend that right leg long, and we're gonna find a twist. So guiding the left knee across the body with the right hand, you're gonna reach out with the opposite arm. And this left foot is gonna find the ground or the wall or a prop. You can bring a block underneath the leg or a pillow underneath the thigh for support here. And we're gonna turn our head over to the right side. And with this extended arm, you're just gonna reach up, 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 up. And over if we can. And then bring the arm in, across the body, and out where we started. And we'll try that motion a few more times. Try to make this as smooth as possible. If you get to any sticky spots, just move nice and slowly. Extend that arm over, and if your inner arm is grazing your face, just let it. Mine is too, don't worry about it. And if you find a spot here that feels really good and you kind of want to hang out, and you're like, Jessica, I don't want to make any circles, I just want to breathe here, then breathe there. So we're just exploring some space here. So if you find something that you want to hold on to it. I'm going to hang out here for a moment myself because this is feeling good. Let's take a few more moments here exploring this expression in the upper back, finding what we like. Again, letting the body be heavy. And then we'll start to come back to center here. I like to do that by lifting this left or the top leg here and just gently rolling onto the back. And take a moment to feel that like deficit in the body. We stretched out not just the shoulders, but the whole middle of the body, and so you might feel it more on one side than the other. Just take a moment to assess before we move on. And then we will bring that right leg up, bend the knee. Left leg extends long. Grab on to the right knee with the left hand. Right hand extends out to the side here. And start to find any movement that feels good here. So again, reaching up, maybe awkwardly across the body and the chest, and then out again, maybe exploring that movement a few times. Or maybe not, maybe we just rest it somewhere. Yogi's choice, you always have a choice here. You really just want to think about the shoulders opening up here and relaxing. One more breath here. Don't get sleepy on me. And slowly start to come to center. Lift that top leg up and gently rock back onto your back here. Knees into the body here. Give yourself a hug, roll into the low back. And simultaneously, relax those shoulders back into the ground. Very nice. Extend the legs long. And let's press ourselves up into a seat one more time. So pressing into the palms and the forearms. And we're going to find a final posture here, which is known as fish pose. It's a little bit weird. I like to start seated up here. And I like to bring my fingers right up underneath my feet. So from here, I'm gonna start to lay back onto the forearms. So my hands are secured underneath my hips here. I'm laying back onto the forearms. Extend my legs long here, and I'm gonna try to bring my head down to the ground. So there are a few different ways you can approach this. This is a nice place to have a block as well. I'm gonna sit the block approximately where my head would come, I think, and come back into this. So you can do the same. You can shove a blanket up under there, or maybe the top of your head or the back of your head come all the way down. So if you're like me and you need a little support, you can really press your head into that support and pull the chest up towards the sky. You're pressing into the elbows, into the forearms, and you're creating some space in the shoulder area. So the belly is pressing out, the chest is pressing out, we're creating space in the back. The head is either floating or pressing into a prop, or maybe touching the ground. One more breath here. And exhale, release, lay down, slide the hands from underneath the hips. And we'll find our Shavasana here. Find any shape that you like. Take up as much space as you need to. And may I invite you to find your Shavasana palms up here, just to receive some restoration in the body, some healing energy. Close the eyes and soften the eyes. Let them relax. Gently bring the tongue and just touch it to the roof of the mouth. Feel that undoing sensation, that unwinding sensation just flowing from your face into the shoulders, into the upper back. Soften the shoulder blades. Let the body spill over the ground. Offer yourself to this sweet, sweet surrender here. Let the breath find its natural rhythm. We've reached the end of our practice together. I invite you to extend your Shavasana as long as you would like to. And thank you so much for joining me, for moving with me, and for trusting me. And I will see you next time.